In this video, I'm going to reveal to you how to use task lists effectively. Whenever I first started using task lists, I thought that they were bad. I didn't find them really useful because I suffered three major problems. I suffered from a lack of clarity. I didn't remember what I needed to do in each day. I just completely forgot about it. I put on random chores. I put random things that really didn't even matter to me. And the third one was that I got overwhelmed. I put on so many things on the task list that I ended up not even doing anything. And I'm going to have three principles for you to solve those three problems in this video. The first principle that I have for you is to use a physical object. You might think that for a task list, all you can do is just put a checklist on your phone and that's good. I promise you, when you actually start using a phone or a mobile checklist or a task list, you'll find that you forget it more often than you'd like to admit. You probably think that, oh yeah, I'll just put it as a reminder to always look at it. But when you're living your day-to-day life, commitments and things that you promised flies out the window. You might think that you're committed and you're going to check it every day, but it's difficult and you'll forget more than you'd like to. So instead, you can use a physical object. This is my first ever task list that I ever made. And if you couldn't tell, it's just a piece of paper. You don't need a fancy booklet like I use now. All you need is a piece of paper. And when you have that piece of paper, you can just put it on your desk and you'll immediately remember what you have to do because it's a physical object. The phrase out of sight, out of mind really applies here. If it's out of sight, if it's just in your phone or somewhere on the internet, you're not going to remember it. But if it's sitting right smack dab in the middle of your desk, you have to remember. And so you will. The second principle I have for you is to actually set goals. This sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't even know what their current goal is. And this is important because without it, you're just going to put on random chores and things you have to do on the task list. If that's okay with you, then all right, you can just skip this part of the video. But if you actually want to achieve big goals that will change your life, this is important. So listen up. I need you to go ahead and think of random goals that you could use to change your life. And the big four are usually health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. So out of those four, you'll probably have some goals that will apply to each one. And you could brainstorm them and come up with a few of them, but you need to still come up with a few. And now that you have this whole big list of goals and things that could change your life, you gotta pick some. So the big question I want to ask you is, out of all of those goals, which one will have the biggest positive impact on your life? And now that you solved that question, I want to ask you the second one. Which one is the most easily attainable? And from those two, a secret third question, which goal has both of those qualities? And this will take some time. This isn't something a 5 or 6 minute video can solve for you. You have to actually apply yourself. You have to choose which goal you want. You have to prioritize. And before you get all antsy and say that you don't want to choose only one goal and leave everything behind, I have a mindset that will help you. This mindset is to think of your goals as seasons of your life. Just how seasons on earth come and go, your goals and what your focus is will come and go. So right now you want to focus on your health. You want to go ahead and lose that weight. That's your priority. And so you have to align your life to your priority. Even if that means you don't go out as often with your friends, that's just for now. Because as your current priority happens, you might have to give up some other things, but that's only for now. Once you're done with this goal, you can choose your priority over there again. So even though you're reducing how much you're doing something right now, that's only for now. Just because you're focusing on something doesn't mean that you're giving up on something else. It's just a season of your life. And the third principle that I have for you is to reduce how many things are on the task list. This is the third and honestly most important part of this video, because even if you go through the last two, you remember what you have to do and you actually know exactly what you want to do, but you never do it. That's a problem. And so now that you have your goal and you know that you need to put it on paper to actually remember it, you have to reduce how much stuff is on there. You have to reduce the bloat. So let me ask you, you probably have some random things that don't apply to your goal. You might have a thing like walk your dog or a habit you already do. You don't need that. You don't need the extra bloat because you will feel overwhelmed. If you feel overwhelmed, you won't do it. Because we as humans are horrible at telling time. You might think that something only takes 30 minutes, but once you're actually in the thick of it, it might take you 2 hours to complete. And now your whole schedule is messed up. All your other tasks are going to have to go off to the side and you're going to feel bad. I don't want that for you. I want you to actually get stuff done. Even if it's less than you think, I still want you to get stuff done. And so you have to prioritize. Again, just as you have to prioritize with your goals, you have to prioritize the steps that you take to get to your goal. And really, that's all you have to do. Just figure out the exact steps that actually have the biggest impact on reaching your goal, the biggest bang for your buck. And just get rid of the extra bloat. You don't need to remind yourself to pet your dog, okay? And now that you know all of that info, now that you know the 3 principles to actually use task lists effectively, I need you to stop scrolling on YouTube, because this isn't helping you. Let's be real. All the time that you've spent on YouTube hasn't helped you reach your goal, but this will. If you actually listen to me right now, you will change your life. Don't click on the next video. If you actually sit down, figure out your goals and write them on paper and figure out the exact steps you need to get there, you're already ahead of most people. That's all you have to do. Just for 5-10 minutes, sit down and actually think. That's all you have to do. 5 to 10 minutes. And if you honestly can't do that, then I can't help you. And now that we've covered all of the 3 principles and what I've promised you in this video, you have exactly what you need to use task lists effectively.